What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about the best-selling cards under $5 or less. This is a Yugioh penny stock marker watch. It's gonna be interesting releasing it on a Wednesday night. Um, but I obviously took a few days off for Christmas and then worked all day today. Let's just jump right into it, though. What's interesting, though, too, about taking that amount of time off is that it's more surprising to me that there really isn't that many changes. Like, I think all of these cards we've talked about in some capacity. Um, and I think this is a good opportunity to talk about the fact that the main reason I think that this is a situation is just due to the simple fact that the meta hasn't really changed a lot. So Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, for example, isn't that great of a card right now. The best deck in the room isn't running it. Tier Elements, not running Ash. And that's why we see it. I know it's the best selling card under $5. So you're like, how is Ash Blossom not a good card if it's the best selling card under $5? It's because the value is so insane on Ash Blossom right now. Because when we look at all versions of Ash Blossom, I mean, the most expensive version right now is $20, maybe $30. That's insane. That's insane value. And yeah, we got the reprint in the 2022 Megatins. I think there may have even been another reprint recently, but then obviously also the Crystal Beast Structure Deck reprint. So there's a lot of versions of Ash Blossom right now because it's just not that powerful of a card right now. And I did mention this before when we were talking about like DD Crow. DD Crow has been power crept a little bit by the Bestial card, so it is possible that Ash might get power crept soon too. But the main thing I'm trying to talk about is that I think a big reason why there's new sets that are coming out, and the market doesn't really seem to get changed too much, at least in the penny stock area, is just simply due to the fact that the format hasn't changed a whole lot. I was kind of hoping the format would change a little bit with like pendulums and getting a lot better, and D-fissure and macro going back to 3, but it really just hasn't seemed to be the case, which is why we're seeing, like, honestly, no new card. Like, you guys can let me know. I think Skill Drain is on here twice. I think that's kind of new. Ignis Phoenix, the Draco Slayer, is kind of new. I'm curious actually about this. I've talked about this before on the channel. When I buy deck cores, I like to use eBay. I think it's just a little bit easier, it's a little bit smoother. And I also think too, I've had issues, and I have a video about this. I posted maybe a month or two, maybe 3 months now at this point ago, where I was just talking about how I think TCG players having a problem with sellers not honoring buys. Like, they just won't send anything at all. Wait about 3 weeks and send a refund. And that's another reason why I'm okay with doing that. I did kind of just want to see where a pendulum-based deck lies. I wouldn't get something like this. Like, I know we can probably read the description here. Selene, Vortex, Ignister, Abyss Dweller, Luster, Master, Ice Revolution. I think this is what you run. I don't think you run one Harmonizing or one Purple. You don't run Guiding Ariadne. That's for sure. Secret Village, Sky Iris, Called By. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. But for 229, 230 before shipping and taxes, I don't know how I feel about that. This Endymion deck, no, it's not the vibe. Not the vibe. You definitely want to run. It's not just Ignis. Why am I forgetting the name? Let's do this. This is what I'm trying to search up right now. If you're going to run this deck, I mean, Ignis Phoenix, obviously, but also this is probably the best card that you need to run. And it's a relatively cheap card. That's an interesting thing, too. I feel like a lot of the new Pendulum cards are cheaper. What is one I have to check out? There's one that probably isn't the cheapest. That's not even that. That's not that bad. So, if you were somebody, you're subscribed to Triff, you think Triff's the greatest YouTuber of all time, Yugituber of all time, or maybe just YouTuber of all time, and you love pendulums to death, I think you could really easily build a new pendulum deck. Now, if you're starting from scratch, like I would be starting from scratch, um, this isn't a good list. I will say though, you need to also already have the Chaos Monster, and that's a $90 card. But I think we are getting to the point where this is the third best deck, or the second best deck, excuse me, of the format. Maybe third. Maybe it is a little bit behind Floanderies. I don't know what the Pendulum versus Floanderies matchup looks like. Um, but I just wanted to talk about pendulums real quick because, like I said, this really hasn't been a whole lot of changes. I took Sunday off. I was kind of assuming there's been a shakeup already. Yeah, this card's gone up a little bit. I was kind of assuming, we'll go to the second page, that there's gonna be some changes. There really hasn't been. Nibiru's fallen to the second page. DPE's fallen to the second page. To element card, starter, this Vernus card. We've talked a lot about a lot of these cards. So to in an attempt to avoid redundancy, we'll go to the third page now. Dogmatic is interesting. Dogmatic is interesting because it is still a nice package, and a lot of people, I don't know what to say, a lot of people have forgotten about how good the Dogmatica package really is. And because here's the thing, when you're running, is it one? Oh, it's 1G. I didn't know that. Um, when you're running a rogue deck, there's two things you have to accomplish. You either need to make your deck go a lot faster or make your opponent's deck go a lot slower. Because the meta is more consistent, more powerful, and usually just faster and better. So with Dogmatica, it actually covers both bases. So you're going to get a body, you're going to get a search, but you're also going to be able to stun. And the Ecclesia reprint sitting at about 5. I mean, like, are there any cards? Like, I mean, obviously, if you get the highest rarity, you could spend $600 on that if you'd like. I don't think anybody would stop you. But like Maximus, for example, you can get this version for $1. Ecclesia the Virtuous, you can get this version for $5. And then the Knighted, you can get it for about 50 cents. Punishments you can get for about $1. So $3 on Punishment, 15 on Ecclesia. I don't even know how much you run the other ones, but let's just say we're at 18, right? So 18, 19, 20, 21 just for funsies. You can get the Ritual. I didn't even know they had a Ritual monster. Two. And there's one other thing that they have. Why am I drawing a blank? This isn't really that bad of an engine for $20, and you can put it in just about any deck that is going to be able to summon from the extra deck, but not summon from the extra deck extensively. Like there are limitations that the deck has, obviously. I'm trying to remember what the other card is too. Still, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. It's the spell card that like sends a monster to add a Dogmatica card, right? I know the name doesn't matter as much as the price of the card, but point that I'm trying to make is that Nadir Servant, it just came to me. The point that I'm trying to make is that, right, it's a $5 card. So we're talking about, okay, 15 for this too, so $35. So maybe $40 for the Dogmatica package, for every Dogmatica card. And it's not obviously the highest rarity, but who cares? And you're going to be able to utilize that as an engine in a lot of different decks. So that's something worth noting. That this version of Ecclesia, because this is another thing that's not super meta right now. It might be, you know. The Frog Engine is a great example, I think, of like Frog Arc, best deck in the room. Deck disappears for a while. The engine disappears for a while. Paleozoic comes out. Frogs come back. Right? Deck disappears for a while. Tier Element is not going to be the best deck forever. Right? There's a definite possibility that at some point Dogmatica will be back with a vengeance. Akashish Magician. Is there something I'm missing? Why is this card? Why did this card see a bump? Is it because it's a Link 2? You can only link someone. This was per turn. If this card is linked, someone return all monsters. I mean, like, I obviously know what the card does, but it's been a minute since I read this. Return all monsters. Card was return. You can declare one name. Excavate cards equal to the total link rating of the link monsters co-linked to this card. Once per turn, you can declare one name. Excavate cards from the top of your deck equal to the total link rating of the link monsters co-linked to this card. Then, if you excavated any copies. Someone's got to help me with this. Why is this card? Why did this card see a bump? Articles featuring this card. This is back in May. This is back in March. This is last year. Why did this card see a bump? I am stumped. I understand it's a Link 2, but especially with the extra deck only being 15 cards, how do you have room for this? What is... This is... I'm just not gonna know. I'm just not gonna know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to figure it out. But this is what happens when you go to page 3. Or are we on page 4? We're on page 3. Page 3 is spicy. Um, I mean, like, a Raid Raptor card is on here. I remember we talked about this card before, too. You know, it's got the trap card problem, right? We talked about this card when it was, like, right around here, and we were talking about, will it continue to fall, or will it bounce back up? And it has just continued to fall from that spot. So, I'm not saying I told you so, but I did say that was going to happen. There are 3 Regekis on this page. It's a fantastic going second card. You're going to get a negation out of it. Is it a Lightning Storm? It's not as versatile, right? Is it a Dark Ruler no more? It doesn't work in many situations as Dark Ruler no more does. But is it a fantastic going second card? Yes. And the thing is too, like, you can see Dark Ruler no more is right next to Regeki. Like, the 2 cards together are insane, right? Like, for a small price of, we'll say a playset 6 and a playset 9. For the small price of $15, you can out any board. Dark Ruler, Regeki. You know, I mean, I play Solemn Judgment. But you understand what I'm trying to get at, right? What is this thing doing? I gotta come to page 3 more often. This is insane. Once per turn, you can detach a material, special summon on level 4 wing beast runs from your deck. If this card has any raid over cheers, but it can attack up to that many times. And this card is anything while it has, you can special summon Exceed monster from your deck, except itself. And if you do, like any Raid Raptor Exceed monster, how do you make this card? How do you... Do you rank up into it? Or do they have level manipulation, Raid Raptors? This can make Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon. I think that's its main purpose, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Like I said, it's a unique deck, to say the very least. Aside from Gear Gamma, RIP, never forget. Sky Striker Afterburners. Is this deck? Let's take a look. Let's just take a look. Because if I'm remembering correctly, this deck got reprints, right? If I'm remembering correctly? Yeah. Hero's Revenge. And that's what actually brought us here, is this version of that card. So, we look at Sky Striker. First off, because we've never talked about this deck, I don't think, on this Marker Watch, because it's always been like this, right? And this is really the first time we've gotten a chance to talk about it since this came out. I'm pretty sure. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but I'm pretty sure we've never talked about Sky Striker because they've never snuck in. This is what happens when you go to page 3. Um, First off, there are 3 cards, I'm pretty sure, that are at 1. Engage, Drones, and multi-roll. Multi-roll. And it's not the greatest. I'm trying to see if TCG Player tells me that. If I can make sure. I'm pretty sure those are the 3 cards. If I were to invest in Sky Striker, which I'm not going to, but if I were to invest in Sky Striker, I don't really like the playstyle of the deck. It's not really for me. Like every time this deck has been meta, it's just been like anti-meta. It's so anti-meta that it's meta. As backwards as that sounds. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. Like obviously, if you're in a pinch and you really, really, really want to run Sky Striker, then you do just get 1 engage, 1 drones, and 1 multi-roll. But then on the next ban list, when all of them are at 3 and the prices are to the roof, to the moon, you're going to be upset that you didn't get the playset now. So if I was to invest in Sky Striker, that's what I would do. Now, is it a solid investment right now? First off, we look at Rose. Is Rose on here? There's Rose here for $1. Does Rose get cheaper? I don't think Rose gets cheaper. Wow, this is a Ray for 10 cents. Kagari. Multi-roll for 10 cents. So this is like... Oh, the Magnificent Mavens, too. That's interesting. Because I think they run 2 Kagari. That's not right. We'll just say 2. So, 50 cents. $1. For a play set, obviously. $1. So we're at 250. 350. I think they run 1 of this, but it's 14 cents. So maybe you just get another one. You just get 3. They don't run this card. So we're at 450. We'll just say you get 2, so you're at 4. This is another one, so that's 5. This is Hornet Drones, like I was talking about. Like I said, you'd want to get a playset just in case. So you get 6, 50 cents, so 650. We'll just say 7. This one, playset of this is gonna get you to 850. We'll just round it up to 9. Do they run playset? I don't think they run playset of that though. I don't think that's ran at 3. Booster. What was that? I was at 9. We'll go up to 1050. 1150. Do they run that? They run the Earth one at 1. I'm pretty sure. The Sky Striker players. 1250. Was Hayate on the first page already? Did we already see the Wind one? No. We haven't seen the Wind one yet. Oh, Zeke. You do want Zeke too, actually. So that's 1350. There was Hayate. Okay. So we're at 1350. We'll just round it up to 14 because that number is easier to remember. First time we're seeing Rose, so 17 bucks. This is, I think, a new card. 13, so it's plus 17 plus 3. We'll round it because it's 150, so 17 plus 450 is 2150. Stay with me, I'm almost done. $2 plus 6, 2750. I think that's it. Have we talked about Shark Cannon already? I think we've already talked about Shark Cannon. I'm 95% certain Shark Cannon was right there. Yeah, okay. And what's cool too, so we're talking like 30 bucks for a Sky Striker deck. And honestly, if I can find one on eBay, I actually might just become a Sky Striker player if it's really that cheap. I don't know what else you run, but like this is a lot. I'm not paying. Why would I pay $250? What is in this? I guess, but that's the thing, and that was actually something I was gonna mention. Because I know it's a penny stock market watch, but it's worth noting. It could be a deck you sort of build up. So like you start at that base level we were just talking about, of 30 bucks. And I think we look at this. This is $35. That's good. That's good. Is it missing? What are we missing? Hayate at 1. Nope, Hayate at 3. This Sky Striker players, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what these two cards are doing. And it's missing Ray, right? It's missing Ray. But I think you're gonna get a lot of. This is good though. This is good. Or it's not. This it has Ray. It's missing Rose. Excuse me. This is not bad. There's still 5 available. And it's $35. You spend $35 on this, round it up to 40 because of shipping and handling and what have you. And then we go over here to Rose because Rose is missing, and you do want to run Rose. Um, Cheapest version Eldorados are $1. So you spend $40. No, you don't spend $250. Well, we'll keep this up though. You spend $40, $45 after shipping and handling, and you have a solid rogue deck that has a unique play style. On top of that, you could eventually build, right? It's like I want a rarity bump here and a rarity bump there. I did that with my Salomon Great deck because the Salomon Great deck is its cheapest spot is like 30, $40, and its most expensive spot is like 100 right now, right? Like you can do that with Sky Striker because Sky Striker is legitimately. It's honestly, if we're being like full highest rarity, Sky Striker is worth like over $1,000, right? So that to be sort of like a thing that you're slowly building into, but also these cards are going to go to the moon. If this comes back to 3, if everything comes back to 3 on one random ban list, Konami is known to do that. You could be in an insane spot. I'm debating on it. But I have too many decks already. I don't know if I'm gonna get another one, especially because like I said, I don't like the playstyle of Sky Striker. But let me know what you guys think. What cards under $5 or less, or what decks are sort of like budget that you're looking into? Let me know in those comments down below. Make sure you guys click that like button, show your support for the channel, subscribe for even more content. Most importantly of all, have a good day.